we're using Google Docs. So just like what we did on your demo. So once
Mm-hmm.
your student has a copy of the book, you don't need to share anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Will
you
I get it via Google Drive?
Google Drive, it's already on your Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so once we send your the students the book of your students, then you could create your own folder on Google Drive using your own Gmail account.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so next, how to share. Do you see the share button on the upper right corner?
Yes, the
Yes,
blue one.
right. So if you could see here, this orientation is shared with me also, shared with you, or let's
Mm-hmm.
say the book, since the author or owner of the book is Michelle, so her email address, you could see it here also. So there.
Yes.
Then we have colors or color coding,
Mm-hmm.
adding of comments, and insert photos.
Mm-hmm.
So here we highlight the words. So for example, your student, if you're having conversation, try to capture their sentences, those incorrect sentences. Let's say, I really like watch movies. So this is
Mm-hmm.
one example of my students last night.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do here is that we highlight the word with red,
Mm-hmm.
and then well, maybe you could just put it here below. I really, the corrections, okay? Like
Mm-hmm.
watching movies.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the corrected sentence or word of your student. So there. So this is how it's gonna work for the color coding.
Mm-hmm.
And then for mispronounced words, so always ask your students to read, because in that way it will help them practice their pronunciation, and there is also opportunity for you to correct them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say they're reading a paragraph, then you just have to highlight which are the words they mispronounce. But if you could see that they're having a hard time pronouncing the words, then on the spot you may correct the word already, so they could
Mm-hmm.
practice pronouncing the correct word. Okay, so pretty much this is it. Then we have, you could highlight words that they need to remember, and then homework.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so are we good with this part?
Yes.
May? Alrighty. So next, page 2. So if you notice on the book or on the demo book that you used, you could see the exact copy of the book, right?
Yes.
And then on the second page, that's where you could edit, make changes, corrections on, or type sentences. So it's exactly the same. Of course, there's no photos on the third page. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So for this, how do you gonna start discussing this to your student?
Lifestyles.
Mhm.
First that I will ask what would be, no, I will ask how's their day, how are they doing, and then just start up with a conversation of asking what's their daily routine, what are the five simple things that they normally do
Mhm.
every morning, um, what they do if they're working. By the way, Miss Shirley, I'm just really curious. I forgot to ask
Sure.
something about the students. Are these adult students or are these kids?
There are adults,
Okay,
professionals. Yeah.
professionals. Okay. So yeah, lifestyle, especially to each is its own. We have different lifestyles. So I think asking them what's their lifestyle is also interesting.
Right.
Not just, I mean, for everyone, I guess, because we have different preferences.
Mm-hmm.
So I can ask them what are their 5 rituals or activities that they normally do every day.
All right, very good. I like that. So always ask questions. Very good.
Mhm.
I like when you say 5 basics. So in that way, it will, you know, your student will be forced to think and speak.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
as they're speaking, telling their basic routines, then try to listen on their sentences already, and then
Mhm.
try to take note of those
Mhm.
incorrect sentences.
Mhm.
Yeah, because this is how it's gonna, how we break down your class. Can you just go
Mhm.
first on the last page?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Page 4, right?
yeah. So it says here 55 minutes. That's for teaching, and then 5 minutes for you to um, fill up your
Work.
class records. Yep.
Mhm.
10 minutes warm up. So on that topic, it can be the questions that you'll be asking, 5 routines or basic routines that can be considered already a warm up. But,
Mhm.
sometimes you could already extend it more than 10 minutes. So you will not really get tired teaching them because you will just ask questions and they'll be the one who keeps on telling them. Sometimes they
It's
will,
like discussion.
yeah, it is. And um, one of the reason why they're learning the English language is that they just wanted to express themselves fluently. So it's really easy. One of our new teacher, her feedback is that she doesn't feel stressed when teaching. It's like, yeah, she said that she felt or she feel relaxed every time the class is finished or over because
Mhm.
you're just like telling stories about yourself.
Talking to a friend.
Yes. And the fact that your students are adults, there will be your regular students. So like I've
Mhm.
said, it's not a booking. So let's say we give you 3 students for the meantime. And those
Mhm.
students that you have, there will be your regular students up until they finish their contract, or let's
Wow.
say they renew their contract. Um, I have one student, I've been teaching him already for almost more than a year now. So so it's like he already renewed his contract 3 times with me. So every time he renewed his contract, I have 500 pesos for him.
Wow.
Yeah. And the fact that he's having 2 classes per week, he said that it's just my hobby. So so there, it's just that unfortunately when he got married or he's about to get married and uh he needs to do a lot of things. He ended the contract, but once he could go back on track, then he will renew
Mhm.
his contract again. So there. It's like we
Mhm.
know each other's life already. Yes, so there. So very good. So as what they did, so especially if the topic is not just about lifestyle, so like the world
Mhm.
culture that we have, then
Mhm.
you could um, change, or that depends on the topic or questions. So there. How's their day? And then what they learned previous class if they already had a class with you. And then 30 minutes discussions only. See? So it's pretty simple.
Mhm.
And lastly, 15 minutes, this is where you're going to correct the student's mistake. So the sentences. You could also provide your feedback to them or inputs before you end the class. So maybe around, uh, let's say your class starts at 8 p.m. By 8:40, you could already provide them feedback. That depends. Sometimes if you just capture limited or very few incorrect sentences, then you could adjust the time
Mhm.
for this. And then lastly, 5 minutes to fill out class records. technically, not just filling up class records, you also need to record your classes. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
provide you the details later on the orientation too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So can we go back to page 3?
Sure.
All right. So here, um, so you already asked the 5 basic routines that they do. Then you could already ask them to read the title first.
Mm-hmm.
Lifestyles. So if we're gonna ask you, what do you think is lifestyle, May? You could do that. So, or do you understand what is styles or what does lifestyle means? Everything on the book, it's like you have to digest everything. As
Mm-hmm.
much as possible, you will not leave page 1 up until, everything is clear, or if you don't have any more follow-up questions. By just one book, they could finish their contract. Yeah, or even it will gonna took a year discussing the book. That's okay. So just like for this, discussing first paragraph, there's a lot of things that you could discuss here. So you will need to read first paragraph first,
Mm-hmm.
then ask your students if there are any words that they cannot understand. So ask them to take note of it. So once you're
Mm-hmm.
done reading first paragraph, then that's gonna time you have to ask them to read after. All right? Did you get it, May?
Yes.
All right. So while they're reading, for example, you're my students. Can you go ahead and read first paragraph, May?
Yes. People have different attitudes towards living. Some seek self oriented happiness without any consideration for others. To them, happiness means wielding political or economic power over others. But most of these people turn out oh, to be disappointed in their pursuit of happiness. Since man's desire is endless, nothing can fully satisfy their needs.
Okay. So for example, you mispronounce the word pursuit. So you could just highlight it. So
Mhm.
for example, political. So
Mhm.
just highlight all these words that they mispronounce. Then you have to go back. Can you pronounce this one more time? May? Political.
Political. Mhm.
Again.
Political.
There. So as long as they get it correctly, you could ask them to pronounce it 5 times. That depends to you. Yeah. And then you go on with the other vocabulary words. Then next, ask them.
Pursuit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Then ask them, what are the words that you don't understand here? May.
Mhm.
Is there any words that you don't understand? For example, say yes. Say any word.
Yes.
Say any word.
Satisfied.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, the word
Satisfy.
satisfied.
Okay.
Mhm.
So for this, then what you're gonna do is insert comment. You know, if you go back to teaching method, we have there add comments, right?
Mhm.
So you could already go to, let's say, Cambridge Dictionary, copy the definition, or you could go to, we have a link for Chinese dictionary for them.
Mhm.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna give you an example. Okay. All right. So did you see the one that I posted, May, the definition of satisfy? So let me just read it, or can you go ahead and read it?
Yeah, sure. Satisfy, show more. To please someone by giving the person something that is wanted or needed, or to make someone feel pleased because a particular desired result has happened.
Okay, very good. So there, you could just insert the definition. Do you know how to do that?
No, how do I do that? Is it
Um,
in tools or
no,
add-ons?
just right click.
Right
Yeah,
click.
and then you will see their comment.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Yes.
Comment. And what about the colors? Endless.
Oh, color, it's just on the bar at the top.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, you just have to highlight.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Sorry.
But can you try to highlight one of the words? Use, let's say, using orange.
Orange. Oh, here. Ha, I cannot find the colors.
You actually need to. How I'm gonna show this. All right. Would you like me to show my screen?
Yes, please. I'm not good in Google Drive.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So what are you using?
Yeah, with our previous company, we have our own, like Zoho, we have CRM and some softwares.
Mm.
So we just, it's like they buy it from the company and everything is already in there.
Mm.
Me, so.
Okay. So if you use Google Chrome, do you see this part? Do you see my screen now?
Hold on.
Mhm.
Yes, I can see now.
Yeah, this part. So you highlight people, right?
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, oh my God. It's like Excel. Oh my God,
Yes.
I feel so stupid.
You just have to navigate it. So for the comment, so you can see it here.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh my God.
Highlight.
Sorry.
Okay.
I feel so stupid. Jesus.
It's
I
okay.
got it.
There's always
Oh
a
my
first
God.
time. Okay, so we're good with the color coding and adding comments.
Yes.
All right.
And the dictionary as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the same, I guess.
For the dictionary, I'm gonna provide you the links later on. Okay, so pretty much that's it. You know, it's like you're just
There's also in tools, the dictionary. It's free, I guess, with Google.
yeah, you could try to use that, but then as much as possible, we have this Taiwan dictionary.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Especially if your student is beginner, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
you can definitely assess them. So instead of providing definition of the word in English, you could just use this dictionary. However, since of course it's written in Chinese character, so what we do is just copy and paste it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's up to them to read it already. So for example, I'm gonna change the definition of satisfy. So there. Can you see the
Oh,
comment?
it's in
Yes.
Chinese characters.
So there. So it's okay if you could use the dictionary in Google Docs or in Google, or you could use the link. So that depends on you, which best for you and for your student also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so pretty much that's it for orientation 1. So again, before the end of your class, so 15 minutes, type all the sentences. Or what I do is that I type it on my notepad, because before, whenever they're
Mm-hmm.
talking and then you're trying to type what they're telling, right? But some of the
Mm-hmm.
students realize that, oh, it's like if the teacher's already typing, it means that make a mistakes on my sentences. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
there will be an hesitation for them to talk
For them
more.
to talk,
Yes.
yes.
So at the end of the class, so you just have to copy paste it. So let's say there's a lot of sentences here that you need to correct at the end. Then ask them to read the correct sentences. So sometimes there's a lot. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, these are different sentences. So yeah, you can just gonna put that on their book. Or let's say here at the end of their book. You could just put it here. That depends on the
Mm-hmm.
available pages you're gonna add. Okay, so there. Um, yeah, is it clear? Do you have any other
Yes.
questions? So pretty much for orientation one, what we do is the teaching method, and we've already hit the teaching part here. So we
Mm-hmm.
call it branching out. Whenever you ask a lot of questions, that's actually one of our technique.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm hitting two birds in one stone right now. So another
Mm-hmm.
teaching method is branching out. So branching out, there, just ask a lot of questions, and based on their answers, then you have another follow-up questions. And this is what I always do on my class. Okay. So you could
Mm-hmm.
add branching out on your notes on the class record of your students, because they will be asked, what did you do? What have you discussed? Okay. So is there anything else? Or do you have any questions so far?
Yes. By the way, Miss, I actually talked about my mom on this.
Mm-hmm.
It, I mean, you mentioned about the class. Will it start usually during nighttime or in the whole afternoon?
In the
That
evening.
in the evening.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Because around 7 till 9, I'm the one who would do the dishes, you know. I normally cook for them because right now my mom is not feeling well. So most likely I would be available 9 and above, if that's all right with you for the meantime.
Mm.
Like,
Uh,
but morning until afternoon until 6, I'm so free.
okay, because we have already students, incoming students.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know yet what is the time they're available.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, anyways, your students will actually start, I mean, your class will start after their holiday.
All
So
right.
pretty much that's gonna be September 16th.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, still a long way to go. So,
Yes, that is why, I mentioned that we won't be able to provide you students first. So we have to
mm-hmm.
train you for the meantime, provide you the things that you need before you can start your classes, because we don't want that our students would have negative feedback with our teachers. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
it's a reputation of the school at the same time.
Yes,
These are actually professionals. Medyo, ano sila,
strict though.
strict and choosy also. If they feel that the teacher is not good or it's boring, they're they provide their feedback directly to Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
and Michelle will cascade the details on me, or send a message to the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there. It's just that, yeah. So anyways, how about September 16? Would you think? Is that, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, I'll actually talk to her about this one, Miss.
okay. So normally the starts at 8.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 to 10 and 10 to 11. You're
Yes,
you're
9 to 10.
Then
Yes, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 12 to 1, and so on.
okay.
Or any time of the day.
Okay. Alrighty.
Just give me 2 hours at night to wash the plates. And I'm the only child, Miss Shirley. That's why it's too hard for me because um, I have to take good care of my mom, and I have baby. I have a baby,
Okay.
and I'm a single mom. Yeah, I just actually I'm married to a foreigner, but it didn't work out, and we just were we're shaky.
Mhm. Okay.
So yeah,
Oh, I see.
but we've been separated for like 7 years or 8 years now. So
So how
malalaki na yung mga kids ko.
okay. How old are they?
7 years old, and one is turning 9 years old. Same birthday as with me, ngayong December 11.
Okay.
So,
I see. Okay.
yes,
Um,
it's not
mhm, mhm.
easy, but fighting.
Yeah, you can do it. It's really hard. Okay, so, well, it's like, I mean, it's okay. We can adjust on your schedule because, of course, we'll not force you. And the expectation that we provide you, this is just a part-time, anyways.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so there. Um, well, so if so, any time of the day, for example, 5, 6 p.m. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
I'm just trying to figure out because uh, yeah, I'll just go ahead and discuss that with Michelle then. And there you go. All right. So anything else? Any other questions do you have for me?
None so far, Miss Shirley.
Okay. Uh, so for orientation two, I think we'll just discuss this. I'm gonna set another schedule for you because this is a bit
Hmm.
it's more on the documents, forms, class records of our students, and some school policies at the same time.
Hmm.
So on your email, you could see orientation part two. So you could, well, technically, you could not view this unless it is shared with you also.
Hmm.
But for the link of the dictionaries, you could definitely view that. Screencast. Screencast, this is the one that we used to record our classes. So just like right now, our orientation is being recorded also,
Hmm.
yeah, for documentation purposes.
Hmm.
So we will ask you to download this because you need this on your classes. So for the first 2 months of your classes, you have to record every classes that you have because we're
Hmm.
gonna review or um, watch your videos, how you teach, and provide feedback also.
By the way, Miss, it's cam to cam, right?
No,
Audio
yes,
only.
it's just audio.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
yes.
that is why I told you you feel relaxed whenever you're teaching. Not not unless if you have children or student young learners. Yeah,
Yes.
so that's
But I actually tried doing part-time when I was in Bangkok. I don't know if you're familiar with Angloville. So I'm teaching adults, European
mhm.
adults, and they prefer videos. And it's sad to say how it's too difficult for the teachers because they could not really understand every word, like even a simple word, especially from Prague, Czech
Mm.
Republic. They're too they're too stubborn.
Okay. Um, I don't know if because there are I just have how you call this. there's just one student who's actually curious of my picture because they never see my face. But I never even, turn on my video or my camera to see. But he just turned on the camera and I was able to see my student's face and then he turned it off right away. So it's like, okay. Yeah. But for students, it's pretty much, it's a video class. But there are still instances like, the sample video on our website. Michelle was teaching without her camera turned on. So let me just try and show it. There we go. So with her classes, he almost laughed a lot. It's very lively. It's like, well, anyways, you could just see it yourself. So this is the rec link for the video class. You could try to access and then you could see it from there.
All right, I'll go ahead and check.
So for children's class, you cannot see that it's not a video class. So okay, so you could try to navigate it and then just let me know if you have any concerns. We might be sending you also the contract once you started teaching. And then let me know if you agree with the contract. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Nice.
So, anything else?
None so
Alrighty,
far.
great. Thank you so much for your time, May, and have a great day.
You too, Miss
Thank you.
Shirley. Have a good day.
Bye now.
Bye bye.